Welcome to Meet the Polymaker. I am your host, Joel, and welcome to the show, everybody. How's everybody doing out there in the wonderful interwebs of Twitch and YouTube and wherever else you might be viewing, which is impossible because we're on YouTube and Twitch. So, hello, everybody. If you are new here, we are a 3D printing focused show, but really just maker overall, not always 3D printing. But we like to share 3D printing news. We also like to share our community prints that people share over on our Discord at discord.polymaker.com. And the main focus of the show, the prize winner, the breadwinner, is meeting a new maker every single episode. And today we have somebody that's actually 3D printing and motorcycles, mashed them together, made a business out of it, and has been doing it for quite some time. So looking forward to talk with him here soon and get some more details. Hang tight for that. But until then, let's head into hot and headlines. That was a horrible transition from the intro. I've been doing this long. You'd think I'd be better at it. But first up, we have 3D printing in space. That's not news. We've talked about it many, many times. But we talked about 3D printing with lunar dust, also known as regolith. Well, now we're looking at that as a possibility. They are messing with moon dust in ways of basically making it a base material for 3D printing, mainly, of course, buildings, structures, and things on the moon and or elsewhere on other planets we may reach. Is this the next step? I mean, we will see. I don't know how much moon dust we have down on Earth to really test it, but hopefully enough to at least figure it out to make it sustainable. But we'll find out. I have no real cost or anything involved in this. There's many costs, no cost discussed in the article. So it'd be interesting to see, other than the fuel to the rocket, for the rocket itself, the crew for the rocket, landing on the moon again to get some dust to test. I don't know what goes into it, but I'm just reporting what I've seen and what I'm being told. But it supports future missions by NASA, obviously probably SpaceX before long. Again, aiming for a lunar commercialization. I don't know. Colonization. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And next up, we're still in space. We're talking about Project Hail Mary, box office hit right now in the movies. I have not seen it myself. Many have. I have heard good reviews, but we're not talking about the movie per se, but the fact that it is another movie. It's not the first movie to do this, to provide a 3D model for you to print yourself, to have a keepsake, in this case a keychain of a little spaceman figure. If you watch the movie, I understand that you'll understand what this figure is, but makes more sense there. But we've seen this in Transformers a few years back. I think the one Markiplier, the content creator, made the Iron Lung movie. There's a 3D printed popcorn bucket that if you printed and took in, you got free popcorn. So it's not the first time it's being introduced, but it's a really cool trend that I hope takes off, because a lot of times we love a movie. We want either a prop from that movie or just something like a little trinket or even a desktop thing. And to be given something from the studio, so of course going to be quality because they want to represent the movie well. And now you can download and print it yourself. More movies. Hollywood, are you listening? Hollywood, are you watching Meet the Polymaker right now? Probably not, but if somebody knows some connections, tell them to do this more in the movies. We'd love to see it. And next up, we have a unveiling party of Mova's Atom Form Palette 300. I think is the full thing there. But as you'll see in this picture, some really familiar faces. Our friend Danny and Neokoi Prince, Joel Telling, Mandic Reilly. I can't tell by the back of the person's head that's on there. Probably another content creator. I'm sorry, I don't recognize you from the back of the head. But we've talked about the printer already. This is the one that has kind of, I think, 12 rotating nozzle swap type thing. And it's looking to do multicolor, multi-material, and of course, major reduction in waste, near zero waste. And what's cool about this is to fund a unveiling party, fly content creators out to witness the unveiling, show it off. That's showing that we're actually, this isn't just a new technology they're playing with and maybe they'll come out with something. This is a step forward to showing that it is going to become something in production. So I'm not sure detail price wise. Been a while that I've read anything on it, but again, we should be probably hearing more soon from said content creators in the picture and see what's going on there. And next up, we have another printer, not so much as advanced as the Atom form, but more so, it's under a couple different names, so I didn't get the exact one. I don't know which one was the original. These are bottom dollar budget, beyond budget, well below budget printers, which kind of introduces the question: is a very, very cheap printer a good thing? It makes it more affordable, accessible to more people. But the problem is, with a $42 printer, this was after like coupons and everything through Amazon, I believe, brings it down to 42, is it can get more people introduced, but then the drawback there is it's not going to be a reliable printer. I mean, at $42, I don't have one. I can imagine, I could assume it's not going to be super reliable. So introducing them, but then frustrating new users in 3D printing could scare them away from the hobby. So it's kind of there's some pros and cons, but what do you guys think? What do you think? Is a $42 printer a good thing? Would you buy one? If you already have other printers, would you get this just to have a little tiny desktop printer that looks to be probably like a 50 by 50, maybe 80 by 80 millimeter bed? Let us know your opinions in chat, but keep it civil. Everybody's got their opinions, but I'd like to know what you think. I clicked the wrong thing. Last but not least, Bamboo Lab in the news again, but not for a new printer, not for a teaser, not for an update to software that activates some awesome new feature, but something I think even cooler is Bamboo has teamed up with Meland. It's over in China, and they have got together. I think Meland does kind of like amusement parks or kid interactive things together to make a first kids 3D printing center to spark creativity and give kids an awesome way to just have an outlet for their imagination, be introduced to 3D printing and other tools along that way. Basically, it's a kids makerspace, which I think is awesome. These, I believe, as per the article, these are from that makerspace or like print center, creativity center, I think is what they call it in the end. If this is the kind of stuff they have, could you imagine being a young kid walking into that? That's basically a very colorful, more fun version of what they have at the like Form Next. A big interactive, I would imagine half this stuff's controllable with the Cyberbrick systems. That's going to introduce kids to programming, building, 3D printing itself. So many cool things. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this works for them, and would love to see it expanded into the US. If not, Polymaker, let's start getting these things built, because that would be awesome to head. But that is it for the news. Let's head over to see what all you have been printing and sharing in Show Off Prints, in Discord, in Spool to Spotlight. And first up, we have Dilligaff, who has printed about 1 million things in the last 7 days. Just flooding that Show Off Prints with prints. But I picked one of them. This one I just thought was cool because it used the gradient. It is a Fire Horse by Paradox H, available on Maker World. And of course, that black contrast with a fire gradient. We've done a lot of models, even in the launch. I think Polymaker Pete did a couple models similar to this design. And they look, I mean, it makes the orange and yellow pop, plus to be able to see that gradient in full effect. Very awesome print. So thank you for sharing. Next up, we have Vanilla GK has printed Pokemon on glass, smudge face Pokemon. I don't know. They didn't share the link. I did search and try to find. There's many different people that have designed each different Pokemon. That's all over Maker World, but it's basically you put it on glass and they have their face smashed up against it. I think you could do Pokemon Window Smash, Pokemon Smush. I searched a few different things, and you'll get something with every search. I'm just going to find the exact models he used here, but just a fun little print. The next up, we have CGS Creations, showing that we also do love, resin printing, and not everything has to be FDM. Not everything has to be in Polymaker filament, but it should. No, this is just in resin. It is a smoke clear, like a translucent smoke. And that is one really cool effect, is the clears and that just transparency that resin can give over FDM with the layers, the way the FDM does walls and layers. It's hard to beat. I mean, it gives a really awesome effect. This one I think would probably look awesome with the right face paint. But it is the Oni Samurai Mask by TYRC, available also on Maker World. Next up, we have Pezles. A little bit after the holiday. I was late to just show some of this stuff off. But this is the Swirly Shamrock Earrings by Fix'em Dude. And these are available on printables to print yourself or for a loved one. I mean, even though it's not, St. Patty's Day anymore, it's not bad to go with the luck of the Irish all year long, right? And sticking with that theme, Builder's Mark has printed Leprechaun with goodies. Again, Builder's Mark, of all the people that didn't share a link, tisk tisk. So I'm not sure. This might be his own design. It may be one he got elsewhere. If he's in chat, he can let you know where to get it and what it's called. But just a cute little multicolor print of a leprechaun in all his gold. I was going to do an accent, but I decided against it. I would offend many of people. So, but those are all the prints. If you have prints to share, I urge you, share them. Share them and show off prints. The good, the bad, the ugly, the fails, the spaghetti monsters that are overflowing out of the top of your printer, or the really cool prints, single color, multicolor. They don't have to be anything super special. If you enjoyed it and you had a smile on your face when you pulled it off the bed, share it. Give somebody else a smile of the day or some inspiration for what they're going to print next. But that is all. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back to meet the next maker as soon as that's over. Come on down to Polymaker's Palace of Printing Perfection, where we have everything your 3D printing heart desires. We have PLA, we have ABS, let's not forget ASA, maybe PETG's your material of choice. We got that too. Don't forget nylons for those specific needs. Printing something special for that loved one in your life? We have all the colors to make that print a one of a kind. You want reds? We got them. How about blues? We got those too. And greens? Of course we do. Too many to count. And let's not forget the yellows all day long. Now don't take my word for it. Come on down to see for yourself. Here at Polymaker's Palace of Printing Perfection, we strive to fulfill all your printing needs. So come on down and start your collection today. We're easy to find right past the giant light box on Hangout Avenue at us.polymaker.com.
Are you into cosplay and prop making? Are you tired of having to break out those power tools to sand those lines away? And don't forget about all that hand sanding. Cramps. Ouch. Introducing Polymaker's Cos PLA, available in two different versions, version A and version B. Both versions are still easier to stand than standard PLA. Find out more at us.polymaker.com.
Whoa, I'd love to get into 3D printing, but I live here on the sun where the UV rays are nuts.
Wait just one moment there, strapping young chap. Have you ever heard of Polymaker ASA? Polymaker ASA is UV resistant, so it is the perfect application for printing near or around the sun.
No way, bro.
Yes way, brosif. Here, try it out.
Radical, man.
If you need a weather-resistant material, make sure you check out Polymaker's ASA.
Printing on the sun is no problem at all with Polymaker ASA.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. We are here to talk to the next maker of the week, and that is none other than somebody that's in the moto industry, which I have a passion for moto. I have a passion for 3D printing. So let's get right into it, and let's meet Max from Droog Moto. How's it going, Max?
What's going on, Joel? Thanks for having me on the show, man. Super excited.
Yep, I appreciate you coming on the show. I think we'll have some good conversation. In the introduction, as I said, I'm a lover of motorcycles, a lover of 3D printing. Those can be combined, which we'll get to in here in a little bit. But
I appreciate it. Yeah, we both. Lots to discuss. So I'm excited.
So real quick, just for those that don't know, can you give a quick snippet of just who you are and what do you do?
Definitely. Yeah. So my name is Max Droog. My wife and I own a company called Droog Moto, and we're an online micro boutique custom motorcycle company. We offer gas and electric motorcycles, e-bikes, and other little parts and accessories as well. But we're online only, so we can sell at a global scale. So we have customers all over the world, which is pretty cool. Every bike is built to order to your specs, so you can choose powder coating colors, seat material, tires. We also build it to your height, your weight, dial it in to a T. And then from there, they're shipped out. And usually it's within 6 to 8 weeks. So we try to be quick about it because it's just the two of us that do everything. But what was cool about my job is that I get to do a lot of 3D printing, and which is why we're here. And that to me has secretly on the sideline become my other hobby besides motorcycles is 3D printing.
Another expensive hobby that you get on the rabbit hole on.
Oh my God, man. Well, that's what's cool about if you get to a point eventually where you can start reaching out to companies and be like, hey, I do this for a living. Would you mind working with us? And it's been pretty cool to
the hobby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The networking, getting to meet people like you, man. It's been awesome. So that's where we're at. You can find us at droogmoto.com. Droog Moto across all socials and everything like that as well. So if you're looking for something sweet, hit us up.
There are some sharp looking ones, which we'll get into kind of the models and some other stuff we're working on here in a little bit. But obviously getting into 3D printing and motorcycles, combining those two, you have to have a little bit of knowledge of 3D printing. Did you develop that while messing with motorcycles, or is that something that started before?
So just with the motorcycle. So it started with an electric, I can remember the model. It was our V2 E-Fighter. I was taking the Speedo that was originally mounted on the handlebars, and I wanted to mount it into the tank cover. I wanted it to be streamlined and sleek, and I could not, for the life of me, I needed to create a jig of some sort, a structural platform that I wanted to take the Speedo, split it in half, and run the top part through the Speedo to where it all just kind of was meshed as one piece. I came across 3D printing. I knew about 3D printing, obviously, a little bit from just being in the maker's world and just knowing about it in general from building and being in the automotive industry. And then I told my wife, I was like, I think I'm going to get a 3D printer. And of course, what do I get? The smallest little one I can find, monoprice V2 Mini.
We all make that mistake.
The build volume's this big. So everything, and I had no CAD knowledge at the time. I was still my CAD was cardboard automated design. And so I was cardboarding everything, scanning it, and then I was using Tinkercad to just figure out what I needed to do. It did not work it worked, but it was not. And then eventually I was like, ideal. I need to learn CAD. So I got Fusion on the computer, figured it out. All of the stuff that we use for our builds were self-taught. So if we needed from plasma CNC milling, anything, we just bought the tool and figured it out. And so 3D printing, after that, I was like, okay, this Mini is not going to work. During that build, I bought an Ender 3, and then from the Ender 3, they just kept getting bigger and more elaborate to the point now where we have I don't even know how many in our shop, plus resin printers. We do get some printing outsourced as well too, certain SLA and MJF stuff as well.
Yep.
But I try to keep as much FDM in-house just because I love seeing it, and I give my wife a little bit of cringe every time I say I need to check the print. And so again, she's like, didn't you literally just check it 20 minutes ago?
So now then
I
was saying on the motorcycles though, so you've developed the 3D printing skills and the modeling skills. So prior to that, were you just doing fiberglass? How are you modifying bikes before that?
Prior to that, man, it was mainly just all sheet metal work, angle grinder, MIG welding,
a lot more hands-on and physical.
And there still is a lot to this day. We switched over to a lot more aluminum and stainless and stuff like that than just cold rolled hard steel, typically mild steels. When we got into the development of making our own fuel tanks and seat pans and things like that, that's when a little bit more of the elaborate processes started taking shape. And that's when then I really learned that like the benefits of adding additive manufacturing to our design style. We use it for aesthetics, cosmetic, mechanical, technical parts. I mean, I'd probably 3D print an entire bike, but my next thing is I want to 3D print
now.
seats. So yeah. So we mainly use it for aesthetic pieces right now, just because where it's at, we don't have to do injection molding. We're not at that point where we need mass production. Yeah. So the 3D printing, man, it's been a game changer and a lifesaver. So
now with that first 3D print on the bike, you said like the gauge bezel, was that a final piece or was that a prototype piece? Did you kind of start with prototyping first, or? It
was a prototype, but then it never made it onto the bike. I ended up still using the printer, and keep in mind I was using the Monoprice, the Mini V2, which I still have. It's best for like PLA and PETG. So, and at the time it was on a relatively high dollared bike. I didn't want to go with just a subpar filament
piece.
Yeah, something that, and where it was going, the PLA or PETG, as you know, it's like not meant for prolonged outdoor, like extended sun use at all times. So I ended up that's when I learned more about like the chemical composites of them and like what materials to use. And so that's when I was like, I think I'm not gonna shoot myself in the foot with this. But yeah, for now, I still mainly use it for cosmetic and tons of prototyping. So
I was like, that's probably the best, just in that case of even just that bezel of, if you're using sheet metal and all that, the waste that you're doing, the time that you're doing, I mean, there's a lot more man hours in there that's just out the door as opposed to printing it, even if you don't use it.
Exactly. I mean, having a printer is kind of like having an employee, because it's making something while you're not needing to like spend time actually building it. Like, you spend time CADing it and designing it. Yeah. And so it's like a cheap employee that's like making really nice parts for you. Yeah. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it costs you more money than it needs to.
Sometimes it throws errors at you or leads you down the path of buying the next bigger, better printer.
But no, it's been great though. Instead of like, we can print a 3-dimensional part, and then before we get that part milled or CNC'd or anything like that, we can check integrity, we can check the fitment. Sometimes it's even been like, we're going to use 3D printing instead of milling or like billet or anything like that too. So we don't use it to replace metal, but in terms of like a good substitute, if you need it for a show bike, or if you need it for just like something that's not going to see prolonged long-term abuse, it's a good way to like speed up.
The material's getting there, but like we said a little bit ago, is it's not quite there to build an entire bike out of yet.
Yep, exactly.
That's where you get into the super expensive SLA printing, and then
that's the thing, man. I mean, that's what's been cool. Yeah, that's been my next like thing I've really been diving into, is the multi-jet fusion stuff, the SLA things, even the resin printing just in our shop, just for doing like custom key heads, for like ignition keys, little intricate little parts that say like Droog on it, or something like a little bezel piece that you can't do with FDM. It's perfect. Yeah. And you can like inlay that resin piece into an FDM print, like epoxy them together or something like that. So I like doing the mixed use medias, which is pretty cool.
Different effects, different colors, everything else.
Yeah, exactly. And I love when I get a manufacturer's bike, like a big name brand company, and because we start with a base bike and then we build them out, seeing that more 3D printed parts on these bikes too. So, and it's like companies that have millions and millions and billions of dollars. And I'm like, this is what your 3D print looks like. Like, I'm pretty sure my Monoprice printer would
did better than this. Like, do you have somebody actually managing your printers, or is it just the high schooler that stops in every weekend?
I know for sure. But no, it's cool to see it being added into a like respected tooling and machining aspect.
Oh yeah, and that's where I do, of course, the news at the beginning of the show is a lot of times it's automotive. I think just last week was BMW using final 3D printed parts in actual mass production, rather than just prototyping.
That's cool, man.
I mean, to see high-end sports cars, race teams, and that's what, like you mentioned too, is it gives that rapid prototyping, and then if it makes sense, it can be an also finished part, depending on what it's actually doing.
Yeah, I think for scalability and production use, it makes a lot of sense, especially in because there's a big misconception with 3D printing. And I had that too when I started. Like, I'm not using this to print toys or fidgets or whatever, which I do as well. But I also am like, I need this part to last. Like, if this bike goes down or if it's going to be sitting outside in Miami for 6 months out of the year, I need to make sure that this filament is going to like work. And so,
Yep.
you know, instead of, yeah, like going back to injection molding, instead of two pieces that would cost me $5,000 plus to make, because for the tooling, the dyeing, and everything like that,
Yep.
I could buy a really nice 3D printer and I could make thousands of these parts and use really good materials that like ABS, nylon, all stuff that's already in consumer grade products. So,
And that's,
just
I think, a
different
lot
way
of
of
work on
manufacturing.
your part comes into the fact of that, you know, predicting how that part, like you said, is going to survive. You know, obviously, even aside from the structural stuff, aesthetic things of how does it hold up in the heat? Does it warp? Does it discolor? What are the effects? I think we had a
Well, and then it's
conversation
cool.
a few
Yeah.
weeks ago about even like the carbon fiber finishes. Is they look
Yeah.
really good,
hmm
but they also scuff really easy.
It's got right, and the only way to get rid of that is you have to like preheat it. I think you can. Oh, I did a test. I
Anneal
was
it.
going to tell you about. You can anneal it. Yeah, anneal it, which really hardens up the surface a lot, which is nice. My big thing lately is I love doing the vapor smoothing with ASA and ABS. So that's
Yep.
been pretty cool. And then you can give it a little scuff and a like satin clear coat, and it almost looks like a resin print. But
Yep.
yeah, then you're just dealing with all the post processing, which sucks.
Not always fun. Like I said, especially
No,
if you start
no.
going more mass production. It's one thing if you're doing, you know, a bike every, you know, couple months or whatever, but that's manageable.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
our
to an
schedules,
extent.
yeah, and luckily with our bikes, I mean, if I'm printing like on one of our hyper fighters, like the Apagon or our e-fighters, even though each bike is built to order, there's tons of components that we don't like change per build. So like a top cover or inlay trim piece, I'm not gonna like redesign or do some intricate design per
If it
build.
doesn't make sense.
I can print like 6 to 8 at a time and just have them like on the shelf, kind of like an inventory if I need to. I typically print per build anyways, just because I'm like super anal like that, and I'm like the like
You
kid
can control
watching
it
TV
better.
where your face is like on the printer
Yeah.
screen looking at it, making sure every single little layer line is good on an 18-hour print.
Your printer's
But
wondering, why is he staring at me?
yeah, it's there's like smudge marks on the glass from my nose staring at it. But for the most part, yeah, sometimes I print in bulk just to like have stuff that are just like in a grab bin that I know nobody will ever see, but I know it's strong and it's a good print.
Yep.
So, because I'm the guy who thinks like some guy or somebody in a couple years will take this bike apart. Or they'll break something. They'll need to replace something, and they
Yep.
see like, oh, you spend like our bikes aren't cheap, and so if somebody takes a bike apart, and it's like me going back to
The
that
junk.
manufacturer's aspect,
Yeah.
it's like, what is this crap on here? So.
Now, what did I exactly pay for? Like, I could have done this with my under 3.
Yeah, well, it is funny too because we do quite a few shows here in Phoenix, and we did one recently where somebody like the biggest thing, and I'm sure you know it from being in the field, is people love to like tap on 3D printed parts.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's like, it's mainly because I don't know if they know that it's 3D printed, or because I love doing a skin feature, like, you know, in Cura and Orca and all those slicers, you can do the fuzzy skin effect, or
Yep.
in Blender, you can add your own skin effect.
Gets rid of
And
the
so-
layer line. So it's like, is it 3D printed?
Yeah, it looks like it could have like it could be molded. Is it MJF? Most people just, they're like, occasionally some people are like, is this 3D printed? And I like to ask them like, I don't know, do you think it is? And so just to kind of pick their brain on it, but typically I'm like, yeah, it's 3D printed. And then
Those are the true
that's
nerds. When they're questioning if it's
When they
3D
know.
printed, they like,
Do-
I know something
my
on
like
here.
it's so funny though, because like every time we go to a show or something, it's like my 3D printing spidey senses like hone into layer lines. And I'm like, that's 3D printed, that's 3D printed. And it's
I
like
do
the
that out
only
in
thing
public
I'll
all
notice.
the time.
It could be like, dude, it could be like a $3 million McLaren, and I'm like looking over it at a show or something.
Where's
I'm
the
like,
3D printed piece?
they 3D printed these hubcap spacers, or like these little whatever, or not hubcap, but like ring trim spacers or something, and it's just like, oh, that's pretty cool. It sometimes makes me feel better about using 3D printing when I see it on like
Used elsewhere. Oh, yeah.
ridiculously used elsewhere, yeah, and especially like just in normal day-to-day stuff. So Yeah,
And
I
that's
dig it.
my
I
wife's
freaking
gotten used to me the same as when we go out in public, you know, whether it's at a mall or a restaurant, whatever. And of course, you know, there's more and more 3D printed stuff, you know, whether some people just have little trinkets on their desk or the bar top or whatever. And I think it was last year, we went to eat at a new place in Columbus, Ohio. And it was kind of a sports bar type thing. And it was very, it wasn't very busy when we went. And I'm looking and just across, I see the bar tap or the beer taps. I'm like, those handles look like they're 3D printed.
3D
So
printed.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I go up and of course I'm looking at them. Bartender comes up. So I start talking
like
to him about like,
rubbing 'em.
hey, so how long have you guys had these? Who did you guys make them? And so of course that ends up being like a 15-minute conversation while my wife's like, the food's here. Come on, come back over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see. And then, like you said too, especially you being in the motorcycle industry, is seeing a McLaren with a 3D printed part or a Lamborghini. Like those are things like you think it's bringing 3D printing out of that, you know, I don't want to say taboo era necessarily, but it's like, okay, it's useful now. Okay.
It is 100%. I mean, I even use it for, we create kits, like body kits for some of our bikes, and some of them are like intricate looking fenders, and on our website there's some examples of it. And so like kits, rear hoops, things like that, and the entire, like an entire tank cover is 3D printed. And you know, we'll get some emails saying like, you're charging how much for a 3D printed part? And it's like, sure, but you got to realize it took me like 4 weeks to design that part. So you're not just paying for like, the filament in my machine are running, which you are as well, but you're paying for the time somebody took to design it, figure out to make it work.
Research,
like
development.
there's so many. So it's like, I usually respond with, well, we can charge more, but then we're going to use a different material. There's going to be different manufacturing principles behind it. And then you're definitely not going to want it. So we're trying to do it
on to you because I'm not taking a loss.
Exactly. So we're doing it in a way that, you know, we're building things in a way that makes sense to us, so that we can still like reasonably price things, but we also have to stay like on our brand, like target mission and stuff like that too, as well. So
you got all that design time and like I said, research and development, but then you also have just the cost of the business itself. And ideally you're not going to make the same kit forever and never change what you're going to do. You know, there's cost involved in the, you know, do you want advanced better stuff, cooler stuff, upgrade parts? That's people a lot of times, especially I think it's more the people that are fresh into 3D printing that are like, why are you charging so much? I can buy the plastic for $20 and I can print 4 of those. Like, okay, so you don't really understand the whole process.
You realize I could get a 3D printer, and then my biggest is like, and learn CAD, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and
so
you know what? I mean, the answer is you can. You're right. If you, do it.
Could. You definitely can.
Then do it if you want
buy
to.
my part and install it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a whole nother topic for conversation, but we get to that. We get into that on our podcast.
There you go.
But
speaking of, so you and your wife, of course, run the business, but you just recently started a podcast.
So our business. So my wife and I have been together since high school. We're in our 30s, so coming up soon will be 20 years already together, which is crazy. So we grew up together. We've started our business together.
You haven't killed each other.
For the most part. We still like each other. Yeah. No, Erica and I
she's on the side of the camera like this.
She's like in the kitchen over there, just stabbing me. No, we're a solid unit. We're like our own little wolf pack in a way. It's always just been the two of us, and with our company, that's where we did decide to. We kind of announced that we have a podcast coming up, which, again, some people were like, "Oh, another podcast," but it's like, to us, I mean, we do think our story is kind of unique. You know, we're a married couple that lives together, works together. We started a brand, a business together. We're always together, just figuring out. It's a lot that we've put ourselves through, and we just want to like share it a little bit and show people more of a personal side to the brand and the business, because our business does look, we get a lot of emails saying like, I need to talk to your marketing team. I need to talk to your design team. I need to talk to whatever.
That's me.
It's usually me sitting here at this table in my living room or my wife, like sitting at the kitchen island, like responding to DMs and stuff like that.
But I think it's more relatable. Number one, it gives a face to the company itself, which I think obviously being as part of Polymaker, that's a huge thing that's always been, even prior to me being on board, is just having a face. But it's more relatable because it's not like my parents were millionaires and I inherited a company and I just continued, making millions. So we
No, man,
worked
yeah,
for this.
this journey's been 10 January was our 10 year mark. And so I feel like we're at a point right now where we're like comfortable where we're at in terms of our design style, our approach to the brand. We have two really big build collaborations coming up that are like going to be pretty game changing for us that we're very excited
Awesome.
for, which awesome, exactly what this is going to be coming in into play. And so that's going to be very, very exciting. And so that'll be getting announced soon. And then, yeah, the podcast is called Married to the Build. And so we haven't dropped any episodes or anything yet, but we've pre-recorded 2 of them, and we're just going to keep pre-recording and do what we're doing now. Talk to people that are business owners, or not business owners even really, but like that
They have some type of journey.
yeah, like primarily in the automotive motorcycle space, but that have just something cool to share, and like maybe some cool tips and just figure things out, new connections and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that.
No, I think it's awesome. And like I said, I've always been, I worked in the automotive industry for many years. I've always been, I've had a motorcycle since I think I was
Kawasaki,
17.
man.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's always been a Kawasaki. My first one that I bought, I learned on I don't remember what year, very old Suzuki 600. And it was a friend's bike, and it was just, it was stripped down. It was rough, but it worked. And that's what I learned on.
So if you
then,
dropped it, it didn't really matter.
Yeah. That was the biggest thing. It was like, if I want to ride it, like it's junk already. You're not gonna know that I dropped it.
Yeah,
But,
right.
And then I bought it was a 97 Ninja 600, and it was carbureted. It was junk. I spent a lot of money on getting it working, and had it for a short time. And then now I've got I still have my '06. That's my baby,
Cool.
my Kawasaki Green.
That's where I've been. Yeah, I had a 06, not a ZX6 or a 636, a Ninja 650. So the 2-cylinder 650R, and that was we ended up building another one. But all of our donor bikes are like all of our gas model bikes all use Kawasaki engines, and we battled it a while for the cost or the price versus what it is. If we say, oh, we use a Ducati Panigale engine, or we use a
big money,
whatever, something else, that an MV Agusta Brutale engine or a donor, it like, sure, you can maybe ask more for it, but that didn't matter to us. The thing was like, use something that we knew already made good power, very reliable, been around for 100+ years.
Parts availability.
Parts are available. You're not needing to spend an extra ridiculous amount of money to do a belt service or an oil change. And we take care of a lot of that stuff for you too. So we offer an annual service where we ship your bike back to us, and we take care of it, and then we ship it back to you. So yeah, and so we try to not make the bike so much about what they are, but what they've become, and we don't ever like push this. And so that's why I was like, Kawasaki, hell yeah, we're gonna use Kawasaki's because like they make sometimes more power than a Ducati, or they're making, that's just where we've been at. And then we got spoiled when we got into electric because we worked with like companies like Zero and Land Moto and Volcon, and that was a cool big game changer for us because the electric storm is sweeping across right now. And so electrics, that's where the 3D printing really opened up, was when we started doing a lot of the electric stuff. Don't have to deal with gases and fuels and oils and things like that. And we can use, that's been really, really cool. So one of our first e-bike, our Volcon Brat, we did a build collaboration with Volcon out of Austin, Texas. They sent us a Class 2 e-bike with the pedals, 1200 watt motor, so you don't have to register it or make it legal or anything. That was when we did our first, if I remember correctly, that was when we did our very first like 3D printed big structural aesthetic trim piece. And it was like, we still do it to this day on our bikes. It's like this full, the main shell is all TIG welded 1/8" aluminum that's then powder coated and treated. And then there's this massive dimensional U-channeled shape print. It's like a 36-hour print per part, and it's a damn near solid print too, just for structural integrity and just keeping it strong,
making it work.
And then we attach it to the aluminum cover, so now it all becomes one piece. But if you break the print or you drop the tank or whatever, we can send you just that new part, which is nice too. But that was the first time I was like, oh, this is sick. And then I ordered a massive Elegoo Neptune 3 Max printer that has like a 480 millimeter bed size. I didn't realize when we bought it that the
bed
X and Y, oh
it
my
moves
God.
back and forth. Yeah.
So it's good. I checked before. I needed to have it like 2 feet off the wall.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is not gonna work. And so, but I used it because I 3D printed massive discs that went into the wheels as like solid wheel covers.
Okay, yeah.
Printed them out of PETG, and they had this like dimensional profile and all kind. They had like a split layer design, so you could like put them on your bike without actually taking your wheels off. And then that eventually turned into metal, which is just like a super skinny 040 aluminum laser cut part now. But before it was all 3D printed, and it was actually pretty heavy for what it was, you know, to keep it rigid and structural. But we were at the Electrify Expo in Seattle, and they were the prototype prints on the wheel covers, and I had done them in PLA because I didn't have time to print them out of something new. And so during the course of the show, it was like one of the hottest days of the summer.
Oh, it warped.
Dude, it just kept getting worse and worse.
It added an extra customization to the bike.
Oh my God. Yeah, wave rotors. And so my buddy like came to the show and he's like, what's going on with that wheel cover on your bike there? And I'm like, oh, I was hoping nobody would notice. It was like straight, like just, I could see it moving. And I'm like, so, but the bike still, actually, it was cool. The bike still took first place. Despite the wheel most modified e-bike. Yeah, despite the wheel covers. Maybe they thought, like you said, yeah, it was like a feature.
Yep.
But so yeah.
So now with the e-bikes, then you feel it's got definitely a lot, I guess, I don't want to say more manageable, but a lot more potential as a canvas for design than what a gas bike does, just because the size.
I would say electric does. I mean, don't get me wrong, they both have a ton of, I mean, I'm putting 3D printed parts onto fuel tanks too. And they're treated, we primarily use like ASA for the like long-term external use parts, and we test everything with oils and fuels. I'm even like using some modified TPUs to do the fuel cap mounts, gaskets.
So
just because, dude, it works great. And I have some on my personal bike, and and so on my personal bike that's been on there for years, and there's been no like
degradation or anything.
No degradation, no swelling or anything like that. So yeah.
So now when you do the bikes and the ASA stuff, like say gas tanks and things like that, are all the bikes typically finished and painted, or do any of them have exposed raw parts?
Oh yeah, so a lot of them actually keep the ASA or ABS. It also depends on the climate it's going to. So I try to make a little bit extra precaution care based on where it's going.
That makes sense.
You know, with a finished ASA part, you could give it like a either like a, not a tumbling, but like a really light scuffing or cleanup. Typically, I've noticed that's not really necessary, and I'll finish it in like a Spray Max or like a 2K Clear Automotive satin matte finish, just to give it a little bit of extra. But on some of my own personal bikes too, just for prolonged testing, I have some raw ASA that have been on our very first Apagon and Mini Fighter bikes for like 3 or 4 years, and they still look like I'm just, you know, with obviously like wear and tear use,
dirt
scratches
and everything
or whatever,
else, and
just nasty stuff. But you wouldn't be able to tell, like if you gave the bike a good detailing, they'd still look perfect. So that's where I'm like, okay, even wrecking one of my bikes and the prints didn't come off or crack or break, and I'm like, all right, this proves my point.
and even if they did, fire up the printer,
just reprint it. yeah, exactly, man. So
now with the logistics of things, you said you're a global operation, so you can ship these things. How difficult is it to ship? E-bikes probably a little bit easier. I mean, they're still heavy, but they're not as big. But like gasoline bikes, like, do you have to crate them? Like, what's the process?
So yeah, and we were just talking about that too, about getting a bike out to Rapid. Right? And so it depends. If it's going to Europe, they always have to be crated. Okay. They have to be drained of fuels, batteries disconnected, fully secured. There has to be an inspection hole to look in there, everything. If it's just in the US, we work with a couple different logistics companies, and most of them, like in the US, all of our shipping is like from our shop to your garage pretty much. And if the logistics company doesn't have access to your location, we find a dealer or
that can
the companies we
facilitate
work
the
with are,
handoff.
yeah, exactly. And so, but usually they're roll ready, key in the ignition or key close by. But then every owner gets an owner's box as well that has like a custom coffee table book, an extra spare key, t-shirt, like a little card, some laser engraved components and bits.
The whole
And then we
experience
put
with
it in a, yeah, you get a custom made Pelican case with your name, your customer ID, and all that good stuff on it. So not on every build, like the e-bikes aren't getting it, but the higher end stuff
higher ends, yeah,
is all getting it.
no,
Yeah,
I mean, that sounds like a higher end thing. And that, as when you were explaining it, it just made me think of like the YouTubers I see when they get their Ferraris and their everything else.
Box.
Like, oh, look at this key and this microfiber cloth to polish my key.
It's like, you order a fancy nozzle and it comes in this nice little box. It comes in like, you get like, like on sometimes on Amazon you can, or like you get nozzles in like a billet little container, and each nozzle's in its like laser cut foam thing, and it's so nice instead of just like tossed in a bag and thrown in. It's like the little stuff like that I think makes a huge difference, especially
it does.
You put their name on it and a little handwriting signature, and
I'm a sucker for collecting anything, so like that would be one of those things that I keep. It gets stored away.
Oh yeah.
And then
exactly.
in my head it's always like I'll keep it in case I ever sell it, and then I just end up never selling the item, and I keep the box.
Keep it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
There's a whole room back there of it.
Oh man, I believe it. Yeah, that's how our shop is. We have parts that I don't even remember why I made them, or like I'm like
what did this even go to?
What was this for? But it looked cool, and the material was like like a carbon ASA, and I'm like, I can't throw this away. Like I might want to look at it next week.
So now, another question I had is because you of course mentioned several times of a donor bike, having that base bike.
Yeah.
Is that something you buy brand new, or is it just something that
brand new?
And is it just just like the base model of a Kawasaki, or does Kawasaki have something special you purchase?
So I guess let me rephrase. It depends on the model. So if you're getting like our E-Fighter Ultra Leggero, we get a brand new Zero, FX, FXS, or the FXE model. And what's nice is we have a lot of reps that we can just get a hold of now and say, hey, or a local dealer that we become friends with and say, hey, we need to go into these bikes on order, or 2 or 3, depending on the schedule. The mini fighters, same thing, always brand new. Like for what we ask versus what it's just margin wise, it allows us to buy brand new bikes, and I'm not taking any chances on getting something used. 75% of the bike, been wrong,
especially with batteries and everything else, of how it's treated.
Well, it's not even that, because we replace everything, like even a good majority of the wire harness, the ECU, the entire engine does get rebuilt to board, stroker crank, top end, like everything, like forged rocker rollers, just all kinds of crazy stuff. That's all being facilitated and equipped onto the bike. So we're technically the only reason we're doing that is because we're not manufacturers, which is we need a title, we need a VIN number to become that.
It ties it to that.
It ties it to that. When we've looked into becoming manufacturers, it would extremely limit us to what we can do in terms of our build style and our aesthetic that we built up over the years. Like our bikes technically probably would not count or pass like inspection for being manufactured, but because we're just custom builders, we're modifiers in a way, we can do whatever the hell we want.
You're basically upfitters of motorcycles.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so there is limitations to that when they go to Europe. We have to follow homologation rules. We have to follow certain local laws and regulations that ultimately just, I hate saying no to money, but sometimes it's like I can't build the bike to meet like Switzerland's
all those demands.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's like it just doesn't make sense. So we try to keep most of our sales stateside, just because like we're in Arizona, for example. Arizona, you could like put wheels on a microwave and ride it down the street. Like nobody cares what you're really doing.
Is that a teaser at the next product released by Droog Moto, a rideable microwave?
You can like cook your food while you're riding. I mean,
get some popcorn,
right. No, so our next two things are gas. It's our first gas collaboration with a company, and another big electric collaboration. So awesome. Two totally opposite types of bikes, two totally different types of potential buyers, but each one is going to be a full build option that people can buy and order long term, or parts and accessories for
Do like a
current
kit?
already owners. Yeah, so if we're going to be coming out with a ton of like parts, accessories, and that's going to be our first like push into the parts and accessories world that we've been wanting to do for a long time.
Okay.
And a lot of those parts will be either not fully 3D printed, but 3D printed like bits and pieces in the kits to allow for like installation and stuff. But yeah, typically most of our bikes start new. There is one model that doesn't start new. We have to source a used one because they don't make the model anymore. But
Okay.
we completely strip it apart, completely rebuild the engine, completely go through everything top to bottom. So when you get the bike, it is new.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
a
yeah,
lot of
it's
stuff
a
to
lot,
learn.
man.
So
It's a lot. Yeah, and so yeah, I went to the Motorcycle Mechanics Institute here in Phoenix, and I've always been around bikes ever since I was 4 or 5 years old.
um,
And then we got to a point with our business too, where my wife was like, I was like, come on, let's do this
let's get
together.
this way.
It didn't take her much convincing. I showed her pictures of like Roland Sands, if you're familiar with him, and like some big builders that are just who have been just crushing the industry for 10, 15 plus years. Just and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do this.
This is what we're going for. Hang on tight.
This is what we're doing. We're living the dream.
That's a lot of things too. Like, because you kind of went through all the different things you've learned between CAD, of course, the 3D printing itself, obviously logistics. That's a huge thing, especially trying to do something global. So is that just all like you learned along the way?
We just
I'm
figured
sure
it
this
out.
is probably
Man.
you'll be able to learn this on your podcast once you start releasing it. But,
yeah, our first episode's kind of about it. We're trying to make the podcast mainly me. My wife's really good at about it, not like a complaining a bitch fest, if you will.
Fair.
Because we're trying to still keep it like not professional, but like just we don't want to use it as a platform to spill our woes and worries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, everything we've needed to do, man, has just been kind of like even marketing, media, social media, graphic design,
Just doing it all in house.
branding. Man, we've just that's why I say like my wife and I are just kind of like our own wolf pack. We just figured it out, and if we didn't know how to do it, there's a way to like learn how to figure it out. We hate asking for help, and so we're very stubborn in that aspect. And two, it's like to us, our company is ours, and when we like ask for outside help or ask for a lot of like, how do we do this, and then something goes wrong or whatever, we want it to be on us. We want to take responsibility, and we ultimately want to like outright own everything.
Yeah,
in our company.
A lot easier to manage that way rather than trying to please 800 people on a board or something.
Yeah, it's also been way more expensive, and like it's held us back a lot too, because everything we've done has been out of pocket, and sometimes our pockets are empty and we can't give. We're turning them inside out, and it's just nothing's coming out. But it's like, all right, if we want to keep this going, man, we got to figure something out. And like we've been pretty fortunate. Yeah, we've been pretty fortunate with like that one email, that one DM on Instagram. It's like, oh, we can buy bread and peanut butter for another month. No, but we're past those points now, luckily. But it's been a long road, and so I'm sure to other people that are listening and own businesses and just all that stuff, man, it never really gets easier.
Now, have you found with like the marketing part that you mentioned of kind of learning that as you go too, have you learned that social media has been a big push for the brand, or has it been more like the shows, in-person shows? Like what's worked for you so far?
I'd say social media has helped because we have gotten some great clients from social media, and my wife's the one to like aid in this. She, from the very point when we started, she's like, don't make this. We're not making this just a local business. We need to hit this at a global scale, because she was already doing her own. She had a clothing store online and was doing some other stuff where she was selling to everybody. And that helped a lot. And we hit editorial, blogs, media really early on, but not mainly in the motorcycle world, like men's and women's gear and lifestyle websites. So it's it could be a Droog bike, and then below that's like the best everyday carry to have for 2018. And then at the end of the month, they'll do like a mashup of what their favorite posts were. And so that's helped a lot, because then it's landed us on sites like GQ, Maxim, all for free, just because we were like, here's our bike, here's what we're trying to do. And that one editor saw it who liked it and posted it and ran it. So that's been helpful. Instagram, there's times where we just go ghost on Instagram for 2 or 3 months, because like you have to be paying so much money now and posting so much to like stay relevant.
To be in the
Yeah,
in the top pages.
and we never set out to like be influencers or like set up. The whole brand was kind of based on like us just wanting to build cool stuff and like do it our way.
Some more
In the
organic
beginning,
growth.
yeah, for sure. In the beginning, Instagram and social media stuff was very beneficial. Now, I think I think we're kind of in like a collab era again a little bit to where you need to kind of work a little bit with companies that have deep nested roots that can help you, and they want to help you grow your brand too. And it's nice when you get that trust from those people. Like, I mean, you guys were awesome. Even years ago, I had reached out when I had did a build and I had ordered some PLA, and it was like the best print I had ever done. And I just like, I have never done it, but I was like, I'm going to email them and just let them know, like, this stuff rocks. Like, it turned out so good. And one of somebody who worked there, Oriana, emailed back and was like, oh, that's great. Cool to see you're using it in the motorcycle industry. We're going to send you 30 rolls of PETG. I'm like, oh, wow, I don't need that much stuff.
Use it. Let us know how it goes.
Use it. Yeah. And so I still have some stuff like she sent me some PETG carbon fiber, and I custom 3D printed. I literally just emailed her. This is getting way off track, but I 3D printed some wheel inserts for our car, and they're still on there like after like 60,000 miles. They haven't degraded. They haven't like they look great still. They pop out every tire change. The people at Discount
that's right. They have to remove. Okay,
yeah. So they pop in from the backside of the wheel, and then they get pushed up against the hub, so they're sticking out of the wheel.
Not snapped, and, not worn out. Yeah.
No, man. And then same thing with this show. It's just been like when you find brands and companies that are making a difference, like Polymaker, and that like go the extra step to help people in this space. It's like you want to maintain that friendship too, because it goes both ways, I think.
Yeah, but especially, and that's where we always say partnerships of things that are like awesome, different things that you don't see every day.
Yeah,
and
like to me, what we're doing right now. Yeah, to me, what we're doing right now is more important to me than like a post getting 1,000 likes, because out of those 1,000 people, maybe one person's a potential buyer, you know, but something like this, I think it helps build a little bit more brand equity, and it helps like just establish a two-way relationship between us as a brand working with another company, and just being able to showcase like how great a company like Polymaker is to be able to. And I'm not being paid to say this.
I say this is not a paid sponsorship.
Yeah, I'm not being paid, I promise.
No, I appreciate it. I think, like I said, it benefits both parties. I mean, it's between the exposure,
right?
The different audiences you hit, and everything else. But I think you have the same approach that I've seen, before I even came on to Polymaker, is more of that organic growth. You're not trying to push sales. You're not trying to pay $10,000 to marketing to be here, and here in hopes that something tracks. But
it never made sense to us that way to just go about it. We feel like if people want a bike, they'll reach out. If they don't, they won't reach out. If they want to complain about a bike, they'll tell us that too.
It's the internet.
But
they'll definitely
it's
do
the
that.
Internet. Yeah, there's a lot of that. But no, for the most part, it's been cool. So I can't complain.
Yeah. Well, it's getting close to the end here. So what I like to do is finish off with a few rapid fire questions. Nothing too in depth, but pretty easy. The first two are always the same for the guests, and the answers do not have to be Polymaker. If it is, great, but it doesn't have to be. First question is, what is your favorite color or surface effective filament?
Black. Always number one.
If you go to his website, you'll know why.
Or like a nice graphite gray that's almost black is my second choice.
There you go. The dark, nice dark charcoal or dark gray.
Yep. And then filament of choice is oh man, I really love the carbon fiber stuff, just because I just know how strong it is. It's got to be a ASA though, because there's so many usability factors for it, just like in finishing features you can do to it. So ASA is my number one for sure. Yeah.
And then the second question for that's always the same is, what is the one print you're currently most proud of?
My one print I'm most currently
proud of. Whether it's work related, personal gift for somebody?
It's a product we're like trying to figure out how to still develop, and it's a custom backpack.
Okay.
And I completely designed the backpack in our CAD program, and to the point where I want to have the shell be polycarbonate, or like like on a suitcase where they vacuum form a dense material, and it has all the cool shapes, or like the rooftop cargo boxes. Yeah. So I designed a backpack that's kind of looks like a rooftop cargo box now that I think about it, but it's very angular and it's on brand with our style. I sectioned it into many pieces because it's pretty darn big, and 3D printed all of it, assembled it all together, and now I have an actual working backpack prototype. And to be able to see that, like after spending months and months and months doing that, that's probably my most current favorite.
Fair. Now, is that real quick, a side question, not a rapid fire one, is there any pictures or renders of that available on your websites or socials? Or is that something you're still not sharing yet?
Not on the website. We have shared a picture of it on Instagram. Okay. But I think it was a story, so it might be gone, and it was somewhere. A long time ago. We haven't gotten back to the point of like revisiting it. Oh. But yeah, hopefully with like the parts and accessories coming up, it will be I'd love to be able to just 3D print the whole shell. Because then I don't have to do a minimum order quantity of like $75,000 of polycarbonate backpack shells. This is true, but right, but
be harder to sell.
Oh man, yeah, I'm sitting on these things for months. But yeah, so I'm sure at some point it'll come up. I'll send you a picture of it too after we're done, so you can check it out.
I appreciate it. Yep. And then next question would be, of course, you're in the motorcycle industry. Other than your own brand, what's your go-to motorcycle? Did you have a personal that it is your baby aside from your own?
Oh man, that's hard to a brand of bike I like besides my own. It's gonna be Kawasaki.
There you go. Okay.
It's gonna be, we're
still friends.
It's gonna okay, good. It's gonna be I'm a sucker for mini bikes, man. So Z125 Pro.
There we go. Okay. No, that's so good choice.
It's just because I'm very familiar with it. It's damn reliable. And you can bring it anywhere with you. So you could always kind of have a bike with you. Tons of aftermarket accessory options. Yeah, I think it'd be like that would be it. Like if it was the end of the world and somebody's like, what's your bike that you're going to get to use to survive the apocalypse?
You're stuck with this bike.
Z125 Pro. It gets like 200 miles a tank.
Oh yeah,
that's like 90 miles a gallon.
Especially nowadays. I mean, that's
right. Oh yeah, $6 a lot of money here in Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah, hard pass.
Yeah, I think that'd be it. And I'm not like super into other brands. Like that's been my thing because we've been doing. So when you ask me that, I'm like, I can't even really think of.
It's always just been Kawasaki.
Maybe I should say the one. Yeah, I almost said the one we were gonna do the collab with.
That's not to say that other brands aren't great. Like I said, just everybody always has.
I love all bikes.
Yeah.
I love every and all motorcycles. But Droogs are probably the best in my opinion. So
fair. Now, so then last rapid fire question. If somebody's looking to see maybe what kind of options are out there for maybe electric, custom electric bikes, custom gasoline bikes, where might they be able to go to see such things and maybe inquire about purchasing?
Well, again, droogmoto.com is a great website to find all your needs and desires for gas and electric motorcycles, but we don't build for everyone. They're not for everyone. So what I build and offer might not be what you like, Joel, or it might not be for like what your neighbor wants. So I say honestly, just going to like a local dealer. Usually if you're looking for something, just seeing what's around. So many dealers now too are doing gas and electric options from big time manufacturers. But then you have to deal with a dealership. So
that's
honestly,
fun.
I'd say it's
worked there before.
Yeah, same. I've worked in dealers for many years prior to owning my own thing. And so, yeah, I'd say hit us up though, because we can make anything happen.
There you go. Hey, and then last, I'd like to just give you the stage for just 30 seconds or however long you need. Where can people, other than droogmoto.com, of course, where on socials, where can people find out what you're doing? Maybe find out first about the new collabs coming.
Yeah, definitely. So, for sure, everything happens from our website, droogmoto.com. If you have any questions or anything, we have a fax page. We have what's called the Droog list as well. If you're like a very serious buyer, we do kind of vet some clients in a way too to make sure we're a good fit for you, you're a good fit for us, you know what you're getting into. Droog Moto at all socials. I've been trying to post more on YouTube as well too, which is nice, and I want to get more into doing the parts, accessories, 3D printing aspect of that as well on there. Talk about like how we use it, why we use it, design features and factors I think would be cool. And yeah, build collabs coming up, so stay tuned for that. I can't discuss too much more, but
nope, I'm excited to see.
Yeah,
you already have
well,
awesome design, so I can only imagine where this can really take you.
Yeah, no, it'll be cool. Next month, next month is the month for it. So
there you go.
Yeah,
not an April Fool's gag, right? No.
No, I am an April baby, but not an April Fool's guy.
Me too. 25th by chance?
No way. Your birthday's the April 25th.
100%. Is that your birthday?
I swear to you, that is my birthday.
April 25th, 1982. I'm sure I'm a bit older than you are, but
I'm 91.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, well, April 25th. Hand to God, it is. Great. That's funny. Well, look at that. We have some more, Kawasaki's, share the same birthdays.
Do we have matching tattoos by chance? No.
I don't have any tattoos, but I got a Sharpie nearby, so I'll screen grab
crazy?
what you showed.
We have our company logo. It stands for Create. Both my wife and I have it on us. We were at a show here in Phoenix, and some guy we'd never met, he has this tattoo on his finger as well, just like my wife. And we were like, it's fate. And I think he is also almost an April 25th.
That's crazy. Well, that just means we just need to get it together, and we have to have a nice countrywide tour on bikes. I mean, it's a given, right?
Let's do it. I can't wait.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you very much for coming on the show. It's great to learn more about the whole process. And good luck. Can't wait to see the collab.
Thank you.
And anything you need, you know how to get a hold of me.
Heck yeah, Joel. I appreciate it. I'm just going to say, if anybody's in the market for a good filament,
there you go.
Polymaker.
Not paid.
So just email them. They might give you a sample.
There you go. You never know. Doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Right. It doesn't hurt to ask. No,
awesome. Well, thank you very much. Really, and let your wife know, thank you for letting me steal your time on this night. And I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good, man. Take care. See ya. Bye.
There, guys. There we go. Oh, something just switched over. There we go. Sorry, my computer's going crazy. But yeah, just a really cool story. It was good to get to know more about the kind of background of the Droog Moto, and very interested in seeing what collabs he's got going. So congratulations to him and his wife. Some awesome things going there. And like I said, go check them out. If it's not for you, that's great. But I promise you, they're very cool. He's got some awesome designs. So it's cool to see 3D printing getting out there in more awesome ways. But if you haven't figured out yet, this is pre-recorded. I am currently, as you're watching this, on an airplane. I think maybe an airplane. I might be landed in Milwaukee, but I am attending Adepticon. We will have a booth set up there Friday and Saturday in Milwaukee at the Baird Center. If you're in the area, stop by, check us out. We'll have a community member, Tracksman, there helping out, bringing a 4-foot tall dice tower. I've shared it on the Tuesday stream. It's going to be a fun time. So if you're in the area, check it out. I will do my best to try to do a stream there to show you exactly what that is, what the event is, because I didn't know till last year till I attended, and blown away. Not even being a tabletop gamer myself, blown away. It's going to be an awesome time. I will do my best to share that with you guys. But other than that, if you're not going there, you're not in the area, that's fine. There's other things you can do. You can watch, exclamation point PML, Polymaker Labs. Got Sean over there acting as the Polymaker scientist, giving you your tips, tricks, and troubleshooting on all your 3D printing stuff. That information is available, or will be available if it's a newer video, on our wiki at wiki.polymaker.com. You do exclamation point wiki in the chat. That'll get you the link there. You can go check out, help yourself, help somebody else. It's fun, good guides. There's an AI bot that's learning more and more. very helpful. So you got a use case, not sure what the best filament to use on, you can ask it there, or go over and join our Discord at discord.polymaker.com, where you can also ask those questions and just have live people that, with some experience, actually tell you, hey, this works for me, this works for me. But great people over on the Discord, whether you want to talk, chit chat, talk about 3D printing. We have off topic, we have hangouts, we have all sorts of fun stuff. So check that out. I don't know, exclamation point Discord, I think is a command. I don't know if that is activated. But also, if you're a Wednesday or a Saturday person, there is exclamation point IPC, and that is Pezliz over at twitch.tv/Pezliz, who's doing imprinting colors, sponsored by Polymaker, showcasing all of our new colors or colors that we've had around in new, cool, different ways. So check her out on Wednesdays. She also does Pezliz Presents on Saturday, sometimes Sunday, where she goes through and working on building our designer portfolio to showcase our new filaments, colors, materials in cool new ways with the models, working with those designers, helping get them exposure too, all at the same time. Sometimes she's interviewing them, sometimes just going over their profiles and seeing kind of what do they have available and introducing you to a whole new inspiration of prints. So go check those out. Aside from that, again, no giveaway because this isn't live. This is pre-recorded in my cityscape background. That is my basement. But I appreciate everybody's support. Thank you for always coming here, watching, hanging out in chat, chit chat, and getting help, providing help, all the stuff that you do. I hope you guys enjoyed the guest. I definitely did. I'm a motorcycle lover and a 3D printer lover, so it made sense to have Max on here, and he's just awesome, just all around good guy. And I'm not just saying that because he shares the same birthday. What are the chances? That was not planned by them. 100% was just legit. But that's all for now. Come see us next time. We'll be here Tuesday on the community chat stream at 7 p.m. ish Eastern Standard Time. I really got to lock that time down. It's hard. But again, thank you guys. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. And we will see you on the next one.